Hey y'all, it's Mr. Sheets from Shoals Elementary School again. I'm going to read a couple more books for you. Hope everybody had a good day yesterday. Um, the reason I want to do this is when I was in first grade, my first grade teacher, her name was Lisa Palmer. She taught me to learn how to love reading. She'd always tell us that reading was TV for your mind. Um, and she could read and she could bring a story, any kind of story, any kind of book. She could just put you right there, right in the middle of it. And she's the one that got me to learn to love to read. So I hope you guys have some books at home. But if you can't, you can read a cereal box. You could read anything. Um, but I hope you have plenty of books at home to read. But the first book I want to read is Charlie the Ranch Dog, and the title of the book is Charlie's New Friend. And like I said yesterday, we get to read Scholastic books free of charge. So, with permission from Scholastic, I'm going to read Charlie the Ranch Dog. Bam! A bright light hits my face. I cover my eyes with my floppy ears. Oh, it's just the sun. Wait, what? The sun? Yesterday was cold and rainy. So was the day before. I didn't get any ranch work done. Today will be extra busy. Sniff, sniff. Where's my bacon breakfast? I'd better find Mama. I spot Mama in the garden. The grass is warm on my paws. Sniff, sniff. Flowers. Wait, is that a bird? Squirrel. I chase him up a tree. Wait, wait. Is that a rabbit? Chasing rabbits is the best. Mama doesn't see the rabbit hopping. She is digging up carrots. But I know what Mr. Rabbit is up to. I howl and take a giant running leap. That rabbit is fast. He grabs a carrot and jumps right over my head. Oh, I don't think so, Mr. Rabbit. I'm the boss of this ranch. No one steals from Mama and gets away with it. The chase is on. Huff, puff, whew. My short legs weren't made for this. You can hop, but you can't hide. Huh? Where did Mr. Rabbit go? Sniff, sniff. Did Mr. Rabbit go down this hole? When will he come out? I guess I'll have to wait. The sun feels so warm on my fur. Maybe I'll lie down and rest just for 1 second. Ouch! Rabbit feet smack my back. He's a hopping machine. I'll never catch him. Who invented chasing rabbits anyway? Chasing rabbits is the worst. Why can't we just be friends? Oh, right, because he's a carrot thief. Grrr, my stomach rumbles. I forgot to eat breakfast. This is all Mr. Rabbit's fault. I'm so hungry. Wait, hold on. I have an idea. No one is in the garden. I sniff until I find a ripe carrot. I dig it up with my front paws. Yoo-hoo, Mr. Rabbit, are you home? No answer. I'll have to wait again. Nap time. Sniff, sniff, my nose wakes me up. Mr. Rabbit, he can't escape down this hole. I'm lying on top of it. He looks around everywhere and wiggles his pink nose. Mr. Rabbit is shaking all over. The carrot is in my mouth. I stand and smile, my biggest smile, so he won't be afraid. I take 1 step forward and zoom, Mr. Rabbit is gone in a flash, back down his rabbit hole. The next day, I guard the garden. Mr. Rabbit stays away all morning. At noon, I bring him a carrot lunch. I don't wait this time. After a yummy bacon dinner, I head across the pasture. There's no sign of the carrot. Mr. Rabbit pokes his head up. If you stop taking carrots without asking, I say, I will share them with you. Mr. Rabbit offers me a nibble of carrot. Ugh, yuck. I'm so happy to be a bacon-eating ranch dog instead of a carrot-eating rabbit. The next book that I want to read is Stanley. and the Lost Treasure. Stanley Lambchop lived with his mother, his father, and his little brother Arthur. Stanley was 4 feet tall, about a foot wide, and a half an inch thick. He had been flat ever since a bulletin board fell on him. Sometimes being flat was great, especially on trips. Stanley could fold himself up and get comfy anywhere. Stanley could roll himself up and catch a ride too. I wouldn't mind a ride, grumbled Arthur. But being flat on the beach was a pain in the neck, and the leg, and the arm. Ouch, cried Stanley. That's the 3rd time I've been stepped on today. Stanley brushed off the sand. Let's do something else, he said to Arthur. Want to go snorkeling? Sure, said Arthur. Stay in the cove, Mears Lambchop called. Okay, the boys agreed, pulling on their masks. Stanley splashed into the sea. Last one in is a rotten egg. No fair, said Arthur. You don't have to put on fins, Stanley grinned. It's not my fault. I have them built in. Stanley's flat feet helped him swim faster than Arthur, but he didn't mind slowing down. There was so much to see. Stanley spotted a school of bright blue fish. Arthur pointed out a stingray. Hey, it's flat like you, he tried to say, but it sounded like glub, 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 glub. A small silver dolphin zipped past Stanley. It whirled around and swam back, so close he could almost touch it. Swish! The dolphin raced ahead again. It looked back up at the boys as if it wanted them to come along. Stanley looked at Arthur. Arthur nodded eagerly. The boys kicked hard and followed the dolphin to the end of the cove. Below them, the ocean floor dipped. There nestled on the bottom lay an old ship. The dolphin dived down. The boys took deep breaths and dived too. They couldn't believe what they saw. The ship's sails were torn, its nets were tangled, but in the middle of the wreck sat a chest of gleaming gold. Stanley kicked back to the surface. Arthur's head popped up next to him. Did you see that? Arthur cried. Let's grab a bunch of gold. We'll be rich. Hold on, said Stanley. That treasure must belong to somebody. Let's take one piece to show everyone. Then we'll figure out what to do. Ah, okay, said Arthur. Just then a wave slapped Stanley, then another. It's getting choppy, he said. I think it's going to storm. Wait here, Arthur. I'll hurry and get the gold. Stanley dived to the ship again. He picked up a gold bar. It was the size of a candy bar, but much heavier. He slid it into the pocket of his trunks. Stanley was about to head back up when he saw the dolphin. Its tail was caught in an old fishing net on the ship. I've got to help, thought Stanley, before we both run out of breath. Quickly, Stanley rolled himself up. He tried to slide through a hole in the net, but something got stuck. The gold bar. Stanley yanked it out of his pocket and tossed it away. Now Stanley fit easily into the net. He used his flat fingers to pry the rope off the dolphin's tail. The little dolphin was free. Seconds later, Stanley burst out of the water. He took a big gulp of fresh air. Beside him, the dolphin whistled softly. You're welcome, said Stanley. Stanley yelled, Arthur, help! The water wasn't just choppy now. The wind was whipping it into wild waves. Jump on, Arthur, Stanley called. He threw himself on a wave like a surfboard. Woohoo! Cried Arthur. The boys rode the waves all the way to shore. By morning, the storm had passed. Stanley and Arthur took their parents to see the shipwreck. It was here, really, said Stanley, and Mr. and Miss Lambchop peered into the water. The bottom of the cove was empty, no ship in sight, not a trace. Perhaps the storm carried it away, said Miss Lambchop kindly, but Stanley could tell she was doubtful. Too bad you didn't keep that gold, muttered Arthur. Then we'd have proof. Stanley heard a whistle. Hello there, dolphin, he called. The little dolphin whistled again. Then it flipped its nose. Something shiny flew through the air. Stanley reached out and caught it. Stanley smiled. Did someone say something about gold? Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. I may start reading chapter books and see how long that takes. I may do part of a book one day, then finish it up the next. But hope you guys had a good day yesterday, and a special thanks to all the teachers here that sent this out to everybody. But you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm not here to get subscribers or likes or anything like that. I'm just here to try to read to you guys. But hope everybody has a good day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.